Back to Aesop's Fables. Here we are for some more stories. Here's Androcles, or Androcles, and the lion. That's this one right here, Androcles and the lion. Once there was a slave named Androcles who was cruelly treated by his master. When the opportunity came, he escaped to the forest. In his wanderings, he came upon a lion. His first instinct was to turn about and flee. Then he noticed that the lion seemed to be in great distress and was moaning and whimpering piteously. As the slave came near, the lion put out his paw, which was swollen and bleeding. A large thorn had penetrated one of the lion's toes, and this was the cause of all of the animal's discomfort. Quickly, Androcles pulled out the thorn and bound up the wounded paw. To show his gratitude, the lion licked the man's hand like a dog, and then he led him to his cave for a shelter. Every day, after his wound had healed, he would go hunting in the forest and return with fresh meat for his master's refreshment. But one day, when Androcles and the lion went out together, they were both captured and taken to the city to be used in the circus. The slave was to be thrown to the lion after the animal had been kept without food for several days to make him more ferocious. The emperor and all his court came to the arena to view the spectacle. The despairing slave was unchained and led out into the amphitheater before the emperor's box. Then the lion was let loose and rushed, bounding and roaring toward its victim. But as soon as he came near Androcles, he recognized his friend. To the surprise of all the audience, the lion seemed to fawn upon the slave whom they had expected to see torn to shreds by the savage beast. Pleased by this unusual spectacle, the emperor summoned Androcles to him, and the slave told him the whole story. Thereupon the slave was pardoned and freed, and the lion set loose to return to his native forest. Gratitude is a quality not limited to man. Here's the hare. Remember, hare, Hare, is referring to a rabbit. The hare and the tortoise. What's a tortoise? It's a turtle. With his big shell. A hare was continually poking fun at a tortoise because of the slowness of his pace. Have you ever seen how slow turtles really are? The tortoise tried not to be annoyed by the jeers of the hare, but one day in the presence of the other animals, he was goaded into challenging the hare to a foot race. "Why, this is a joke," said the hare. "You know that I can run circles around you." "Enough of your boasting," said the tortoise. "Let's get on with the race." So the course was set by the animals, and the fox was chosen as judge. He gave a sharp bark, and the race was on. Almost before you could say scat, the hare was out of sight. The tortoise plodded along at his usual unhurried pace. After a time, the hare stopped to wait for the tortoise to come along. He waited for a long time until he began to get sleepy. "I'll just take a quick nap here in the soft grass, and then in the cool of the day I'll finish the race." And so he lay down and closed his eyes. Meanwhile, the tortoise plodded on. He passed the sleeping hare and was approaching the finish line when the hare awoke with a start. It was too late to save the race. Much ashamed, he crept away while all the animals at the finish line acclaimed the winner. Slow and steady wins the race. That's where that comes from. It comes from Aesop's Fables. The ass and his masters. Remember, an ass is a donkey. It's an old word for a donkey. A discontented ass who felt that the gardener for whom he worked was a hard taskmaster appealed to Jupiter. So these are old Greek stories. So that's the name of one of the gods, Jupiter. Appealed to Jupiter to give him another master. Annoyed by the ass's ingratitude, Jupiter bound him over to a potter who gave him even heavier burdens to bear. Again, the ass besought Jupiter. This time it was arranged to have him sold to a tanner. A tanner is someone who skins animals and then turns their skins into leather for bookbinding and things like that. Had him sold to a tanner. Finding that he had fallen into worse hands than ever, the ass said with a groan, Alas, wretch that I am! Would that I had remained content with my former masters. My new owner not only works me harder while I am alive, but will not even spare my hide when I am dead. He that finds discontentment in one place is not likely to find happiness in another. Ooh, that's pretty insightful. Here's the lion and the dolphin. The king of beasts was pacing majestically along the shore of the sea one day when he spied a dolphin basking on the surface of the water. "Hello there, friend dolphin," roared the lion. "This is a fortunate meeting indeed. I long have wanted to suggest that you and I form an alliance. As I am king of the beasts and you are king of the fishes, what is more natural than that we should be strong friends and powerful allies?" "There is much in what you say," replied the dolphin. Not long afterward, the lion again came to the seashore, where he was challenged by a wild bull. The fight was not going too well for the lion, so he called upon the dolphin for his promised support. The latter, though ready and willing to aid his ally, found himself unable to come out of the sea to join the battle. After the wild bull had been put to flight, the lion upbraided the dolphin. "You are a fine ally," said the lion. "I could have been killed, and you never turned a fin to help me." "Do not blame me," said the dolphin in reply, "but blame nature, which made me powerful in the sea, but altogether helpless on land." In choosing allies, look to their power as well as their will to help you. The hawk and the pigeons. A hawk long had had his eye on a flock of pigeons, but no matter how often he had swooped down upon them from the sky, they always had been able to reach their cote, C-O-T-E, cote, not like a coat you put on, but a place where they live. It's called a coat, a dove's coat. They always had been able to reach their coat in safety. Thinking that it might be his shadow they had spied, he waited for a cloudy day for his next attack, but still to no avail. At length, the hungry hawk decided to use craft instead of attack. From the top of a nearby dead tree, he called down to the pigeons, "Why do you prefer this life of constant fear and anxiety when, if you would make me your king, I could patrol the sky and make you safe from any attack that could be made upon you?" The foolish pigeons, believing the hawk's interest in their welfare to be sincere, called him to the throne as their king and protector, but no sooner was he established there than he issued an order that every day one pigeon would have to be sacrificed for his dinner. Whew. They who voluntarily put themselves under the power of a tyrant deserve whatever fate they receive. Wow, that's pretty poignant. That's a very thoughtful statement. Well, that's it for this week and for this reading from Aesop's Fables. Bye.